So you have evaluated 2025 and you didn't like the results. Now you want to go through a life reset. In this video, I'll share with you exactly what you need to actually make your reset successful, to make 2026 a better year than 2025. And this video is not to overwhelm you, because you don't need excessive planning. What matters most is the actions that you're going to be taking. And this comes from someone who has been going through a life reset, because I reached July of this year and I'm like, I don't like what I'm seeing right now, and I had to start moving in a different direction. I'll be sharing with you the things that helped me and the things that you're going to avoid, so keep watching. The first thing that you're going to do is to pause. Pause and breathe, reflect, because you don't want to be moving in a direction that you're actually not clear about. So much chaos going on, so many things going on your mind, but we want to reflect without guilt. So you're going to ask yourself two questions. What did I do right? What are those things that I actually did and accomplished throughout this year? And I know for a fact that everyone has accomplished something. There's no way you have spent 365 days and you haven't accomplished anything. Stay away from things like, I didn't accomplish anything, I don't see anything valuable that I did. You did something, and don't move on until you write something down. The second question is, what did I not accomplish and why? What mindsets were blocking me? What habits were really stopping me from achieving the goals? We want to get clarity and reflect on the journey that we have already been on, because it's going to be very important for us to know exactly how we are going to move forward in the next step of our reset. After hitting your pause and reflect, the next step is to find clarity. Clarity on who you are and where you want to go. Now, we want to define what are your values. Your values are definitely going to be your fundamental beliefs, your inner compass, the things you believe about yourself, and they're going to just help you always to bring you back that everything you're doing is going to be under these buckets, under your values. Personally, it's faith, discipline, and integrity. And you don't have to complicate this. You just want to define yourself in 3 ways. After defining your values, find out what you are going to achieve. Those are going to be your goals and why. And remember, goals have to be specific, realistic, and measurable. And this is where I used to get overwhelmed from, because I had an entire list of over 20 things that I wanted to achieve, and that did not happen. And I saw a quote from Tony Robbins that changed my entire mindset about goal setting. He said, so many of us overestimate how much we can achieve in 12 weeks, 6 months, or 1 year, and underestimate how much more we can achieve in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Bringing everything you want to achieve and bring it all forward into 1 year is overwhelming. And that's why the goals have to be specific, they have to be realistic and measurable. Also, take some time and read the book, The 12-Week Year. This book has helped me also to break down the big goals that I had and just shrink them into 12 weeks. I treat it like a whole year and then move on to the next 12 weeks and move on to the next 12 weeks. Personally, when I was going through this goal setting, I used 5 buckets, because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I wanted all these 5 buckets to be filled. One was personal, marriage, kids, family, and finances. These buckets don't have to be the same for you. You have to think about your life and exactly where you want it to. For example, your personal goal could be just reading every day for 30 minutes. And that's something you can track, that's something you can measure. And for my marriage bucket, we're having a date night every Friday. For the kids, I'm going to be reading with them every day for at least 15 minutes. But here's the mistake that I did that so many people keep doing as well. At the beginning of this year, I set out to max out my Roth IRA. I had never maxed out my Roth IRA before, and I had not even contributed half, because I was seeing so many people saying, I'm going to get out of debt, I'm going to max out my Roth IRA, I'm going to do this investment. I put it on my goal list. And halfway through this, I realized I did not make this realistic, and that is a problem. Now, how do you set realistic goals? This is you setting a milestone, and then you add on to that milestone. For example, the previous year for me, I had only put 1,700 towards my Roth IRA. And then come this year, I had set it to, oh, I'm going to max it out to 7,500 because everyone was saying that same thing. I realized, well, I am not realistic with this goal because I didn't even contribute last year half of this. So the biggest thing that I have changed in my reset was to set the goals according to the results that I have seen in my life before. If last year I put it on 1,700, this year I set out to put at least 3,000 because that is a whole $1,300 that I didn't put last year. That is a little bit more realistic. Now next year I'm going to increase that to 4,500. Now, if you're in this space that I have so many goals, I don't know how to narrow them down, you're going to do this exact exercise that I did, and I know it's going to help you. Every bucket of your goals, you're going to write as many goals as you can think about, okay? Just randomly brain dump them. Don't leave them lingering in your head. Just put it all on paper, okay? I want to use the financial goals for this example because it brings it out so clearly. So you could have, I want to build my emergency fund to 20 grand. I want to max out my Roth IRA to travel. I want to buy a car that is probably costing 30,000. I want to finish my medical bills. I want to pay off my credit card. And of course, you have that amount probably paid down by 5,000. I want to get monetized on YouTube to sell my Dictor product. Now we're going to narrow it down. What is that one goal that is going to actually help you achieve so many of the other goals? If you want to increase the things you're putting in your financial fund, in your Roth IRA, to buy a car, to pay off your credit card, you're going to have to increase your income and to budget and track your expenses, right? And then you're probably going to sell something, okay? What are you going to do to increase your income? And that's how you start, okay, if I want to earn an extra 3,000, what am I going to do? That is probably you getting monetized on YouTube, getting some brand deals to sell your own digital products. You can sell your merch, you can be an affiliate. It's a whole ecosystem, right? So now our focus is going to be YouTube. How do we become serious with YouTube? Because once we become serious here, we can do all these things and then they can help us fund all the other goals. Now your goal is not 20 things, it's just let me get serious with my social media. Let me start that program. How can I apply for a new job or get promoted? How can I track my expenses so I can keep them low as I can fund all the other goals? It's not coming up with random goals. It's looking at your situation and how you can actually make things happen for yourself. But after setting all these goals, you have to attach a why to it. You have to attach the reason why you're going to go harder at the things that you have set out to do. Is it that you want to really be traveling every single year? Is it you're just tired of the situation you're in right now? You want to tap more into your potential. You want to serve the purpose that God gave you here on the earth. You want to make your life better for your parents. I want to bring my parents to the US so they can visit this place fully funded. That is the reason why I'm going hard. I want my kids to have options. I don't want them to start with debt in their lives. That is a reason that I can wake up to and I'm like, even in the times I don't feel like doing it, girl, get up. If you can find the motivation within you, attach it to someone else, attach it to your kids, attach it to your parents, attach it to anything else that is so valuable to you. You want to give more. You want to spend more time with the Lord. You want to serve in different spaces. Make that reason so strong that you are not going to give up. And as a person with ADHD, there's one thing you gotta do is to write it down. It's not going to linger in your head. Out of sight is going to be out of mind. You write it down, you put it in your office, you put it in your bedroom, you put it on your mirror, and you're going to be looking at these things every single day. You look at your goals, you look at your why, and keep going. And after listing your why, you're going to find out, how will I be able to track this? It has to be measurable and trackable. Whatever you monitor is what grows. Even if it's just a habit that you're trying to build, get a tracker and literally tick it out every single day that you do it, and every other day you don't do it. I'll be providing trackers every single month of this entire year, so you can actually track your habits, so you actually know the results. Am I moving in that direction, or am I sliding off? The last step in all this is you're going to evaluate yourself. Every time you track, you're going to evaluate. Am I doing it 50%? What can I do to improve? Evaluation is as important as the action that you're doing, because if you don't know exactly which path you're on, you're going to just assume. And remember to reward yourself. If you did exactly what you said you would do, find a reward for that. That is energy for your brain. That is motivation for you. It could be you're gonna buy something that you've always wanted to buy. Attach a reward to these things, because it's motivation. It's just how the brain works. But also, if you don't do what you said you would do, there should be painful reward behind that. It could be, I'm not going to watch TV for the month, so I can actually get back and do what I said I was going to do. It could be, I'm not eating ice cream, I'm not eating chocolate for 2 weeks. What is the consequence of you not doing what you said you are going to do? That, my friend, is how you're going to win in 2026. But I want to say, having an accountability partner, putting yourself in a group of other people that are actually trying to achieve the same thing, helps you stay on track, because you keep each other accountable. So if you are in a group of other people that are also doing the same thing, I mean, you don't want to be the one behind or backsliding, or every time you come to evaluate, you're the one who has not done the thing. So it kind of pushes you out of your comfort to keep going. If you're looking for that accountability group, type accountability in the comments. I want to know how many people actually need accountability, so I can set up this group for 2026. We don't need to be in isolation while running our races. We want to be in a group of people that are running along with us, because that's motivation. I hope this video helps you. And if you have ADHD, you want systems that are going to help you plan this next year, that video is coming up here, or you can check it in the description box. Share this video so we can all win in 2026. I'll see you around.